Be honest, is this you? SMMA isn't as easy as it sounds when you're my age. Don't get me wrong, as long as your company is looking to scale their revenue, there will always be a need for SMMAs. But realistically, how long would it take for someone to get their first client while juggling high school? To answer this question, I'll be giving you guys the results for my first month of having my own SMMA. Like many of you, I got into SMMA because I saw it as an escape from the traditional 9-to-5 lifestyle, worries of university, and the utter fear of the rat race. Like any teenager would do, I got onto YouTube and I started searching for business opportunities. This is when I came across SMMA. Thought I hit gold and a fantasy was set in place. However, that's when the struggles hit. And it's pretty simple to start an agency. Really all you need is a name and a logo, which you could get off Canva. Then all you need is some offers and a way to outreach. When I first started looking for offers, I went onto YouTube and went to the top performing agencies in my niche and started looking at their services and the way that they deliver them. And then I copied. But that was my first mistake. For anyone that's just starting out, please note this down. The reason why this is a mistake is because all you are doing is going into a competitive service that is also oversaturated. More on that later. They all seem so fed up from the calls that offered the same service to the same niche. That was my cue to change up my services. You don't need to completely change everything, completely redesign everything. Just look at what they are doing and try to reinvent the wheel off that. I already have a few videos on this, so I'm not gonna waste my breath. If you are interested and you want to know more about what I'm saying, just check out my channel. Anyways, once you find out your service and your offer, we need to move on to the cold outreach strategies. This is the hardest part of the journey. Not only do you get rejected time and time again, but it's also mentally draining. And for a while, I actually feared outreaching. I started through cold emails and I actually got my first meeting through cold emails. But then I strayed away from that because I realized how much emails it actually took to get just one meeting. I watched Wolf of Wall Street and I changed up my approach from cold emails to cold calls. Starting out, it made my stomach sick to pick up the phone. However, I spent hours watching live cold call footage and analyzing what they said and how they said it. This upped my game a lot. In my first week of cold calling, I got flat out rejected by everyone. But after watching those videos, I managed to drag on the conversation as well as book meetings. On my best day so far, I booked 3 meetings in an hour. And for those of you who have cold called before, you should know how impressive that is coming from a 15-year-old who just started. Nevertheless, let's move on to how the meetings actually went. As a teenager, I noticed that people tend to be scared away by my age. And when you hop onto a Zoom meeting, your age could really show, as when you call somebody on the phone, they don't really know who they're talking to. That's why I recommend dressing old on your Zoom calls. Give yourself a classy look. Maybe wear a button-up t-shirt, a black tee. Just don't show up to the meeting wearing what I'm wearing right now. Another thing is that I would try to stay away from Zoom meetings unless you are trying to get a high-ticket client. This way you'll have the chance to get it over with on the phone, meaning that they won't be able to tell your age as long as you maintain a confident tone and carry yourself in a mature manner. 99% of people watching this video who will take action will find themselves to fail on their first ever meeting, and that's just inevitable. This is because of inexperience and lack of opportunity to gain it. One mistake I made on my first ever meeting was not double checking my equipment. So basically I was on a Zoom call with the owner of a restaurant, and for 2 minutes straight I was talking and giving them my pitch. However, turns out I was on mute the whole time. So basically for 2 minutes, she just saw my mouth opening and closing without any sound coming out and didn't tell me anything. And why would she tell me it's off? How can she trust a 15-year-old to carry out her company's marketing strategies when he can't even set up a proper Zoom meeting? All these little tips aside, on my first month of having SMMA, I had 7 meetings. I sent over 200 emails. I had around 50 cold calls. And from all that, I only gained 1 client. Keep in mind, the SMMA was the only thing I had on my mind in this period. Meaning that every time I would get home from school, the first thing I would do is start researching, networking, and even recording videos for this channel. Anyways, I know this video is going to be more on the shorter side, but I hope you enjoyed it. And remember, you shouldn't be working off motivation, but instead using your dedication as a driving force. I hope you guys stay safe and keep hustling.